Starship just soared again, and this test flight may have completed more things than you might think at first glance. Flight 9 included critical experiments in reusability, atmospheric re-entry, and full stack stability. But what really happened up there? Today we're breaking down the science, the engineering wins, and what still went wrong with SpaceX's most powerful rocket yet. I'm Ben, this is Physics or Bust. On May 27th, Starship Flight 9 took off from Texas under the power of 33 Raptor 2 engines on Booster 15's second flight. Riding atop was Ship 29, which was supposed to get to a suborbital altitude, deploy 8 simulator satellites for Starlink, re-enter, and do a soft splashdown in the Indian Ocean. And just to be clear, this mission wasn't about getting to orbit for the sake of getting to orbit. It was about testing real-world performance during each phase: ascent, hot staging, deployment, re-entry, and recovery, and receiving data from each aspect of the flight with dozens of onboard sensors, measuring heat loads, dynamic stress, engine reliability, and control stability. Let's look at what main experiments they had planned. The first one we come to is a change in the hot staging ring. Starship uses a hot staging ring with vents, allowing the upper stage rockets to ignite before stage separation. This ensures positive acceleration during handoff, minimizing energy losses. On previous launches, when the booster separated from the upper stage, SpaceX allowed slight differences from the energy of the upper stage rockets hitting the booster to allow that slight difference to determine which direction the booster used to rotate around before doing the boost back burn. Instead of allowing it to flip in whatever direction it happened to go, SpaceX decided to block some of the vents, making it so that the booster would definitely go one direction versus another, meaning they could control the direction that the booster was going to flip, making the process more fuel efficient. The next experiment we came to was the booster coming down at a higher angle of attack. This is another experiment to increase the fuel efficiency of the booster, because if the booster can handle the stress of coming down at a higher angle of attack, it'll actually end up slowing down more during that descent, so that when it fires its rockets on the landing burn, it doesn't need as much fuel in order to land. And of course, not needing as much fuel to land means more of the fuel can be used to put payload into space. But this is where the problem started with Flight 9. Right as the booster was starting its engines to begin the landing burn, Starbase lost contact with the booster because of an explosion, and the booster came crashing down to the Gulf. It was already in the plans for the booster to end up in the Gulf instead of being caught at the tower, because they also wanted to experiment with intentionally disabling one of the 3 center engines and using an engine from the middle ring instead. This experiment will just have to wait for the next launch, which probably means that Flight 10 won't see a booster catch by Mechazilla either, but another planned water landing. Now on to the upper stage, or ship. After stage separation and its ascent burn, there were multiple experiments planned for Ship to complete. Unfortunately, Ship 29 didn't get to complete any of them, not even opening the door to deploy 8 Starlink simulator satellites. Beyond deploying the satellites, Ship was also supposed to relight a Raptor engine in space. There were also multiple experiments they wanted to get data on regarding the heat shielding, the flaps, the landing flip, and the soft splashdown. Now, one thing we know is that the upgrades they've done after Flight 7 and 8 did help this ship make it further into the process than both 7 and 8 did. Some of the upgrades they did after Flight 8 are that they increased the torque on key joints, put a new nitrogen purge system, and made improvements to the propellant drain system. Flight 9 also included more shielding and localized redundancy to preserve telemetry during blackout zones. So Flight 9 wasn't perfect, but it did have some progress. Not as much as space enthusiasts like myself were hoping, but progress is progress. The fact is, this flight gave SpaceX a lot of data. Data regarding the engines, materials, control surfaces, and how hard it is to return a skyscraper from orbit. But keep in mind, this vehicle isn't just for Earth. It's meant to take people to the moon, to Mars, and beyond. Even with both the booster and the ship demising before they finished all the experiments that SpaceX wanted to do, I'm still optimistic about the future of human space travel and making life multiplanetary. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'd like this book. I have an affiliate link in the description below. I do get a small commission, but it doesn't cost you any extra. For more updates on space, science, and technology, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember, keep asking questions. I'll see you on the next video.